Hello, my name is Beth Dixon, and this is Lesson 1, questions 13 and 14. Let's look at question number 13. Convert 97 over 80 to a decimal and a percent. And I didn't write down the boxes here for that, and I probably should have, but we'll just add those as we go. But to convert that 97 over 80 to a decimal, we will use our calculator. We do not divide these out by hand. So take your calculator, type in 97 divided by 80, and then press enter. That gives you your decimal of 1.2125, and on your computer, if you're matching this up to a computer problem, you would just type that into the decimal box. And then the percent, notice the percent box will say percent, and it has a box, but then it has the percent symbol. So we do not need the percent symbol. We'll just need to type in the number that goes with that. Well, to type this, remember there's your decimal here. We want 1.2125, and so we'll move the decimal over 2 places, 1, 2, and that gives us 2 places. So that gives us 121.25%. So in the box, we would type in 121.25. And I've got to remember to make my decimals big enough for you to see. Okay. Question number 14, the fraction 1/6 is equivalent to what percent? Again, we want to use our calculator to change that to a decimal. So when we hit 1 divided by 6 and then press the enter key, we get 0.1 and then repeating sixes. The last number is a 7. That doesn't mean the last number is 7. It means it rounded that last number to a 7. So when I get 1/6 and I convert it, it's 0.1, and then the sixes just keep going on forever. So I'm going to write a ... there. And again, I need to make my dots bigger. Maybe by the time I get to the end of these videos, I'll have learned to do that. So that just keeps going. Now, it wants us to write it as a percent and then round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so when you do these problems, be careful that you read the directions about rounding. The computer can only get your answer right or count it right by comparing it to what it's in its bank, in its memory bank. It cannot look at you and say, oh, I understand what you meant. We'll give you the right answer. It is not a human being that can guess, oh, that's a percent sign. You just accidentally wrote the percent sign in there. It has to say, every symbol you wrote in matches every symbol that I think is supposed to be there, therefore it is correct. Oh, you put an extra space in there, it doesn't mean anything, but it's still the right answer. It can't do that. It has to do it very literally. So we have to be very careful when we write those. So when we do this, let's first convert it to, with all those extra sixes, and let's convert it to a percent. That would move our decimal 2 places. So the decimal starts here, and that moves it 1, 2 places. So that's 16 point, and then again, the sixes just keep repeating. I'm not going to write them all. I'm just going to write a dot. But it wants it to the 10th place. The nearest 10th would be the first decimal place. The first place after the decimal is the 10th. So we want to round to this decimal place right here. That is the 10th. And that's after we've converted it to a percent. So that means here's the 6. The next number following that is a 6. It is 5 or more. It's more than, it's 5 or it's more. And since it's 6, that means it's 5 or more. It's a 6. And that means we need to round up the digit that we're rounding to, which is also a 6. So that means that 6 will go up a number to a 7. So that would make this 16.7%. Notice that's also why they use the word approximate here. The exact number is 16.66666 repeating sixes, but it's approximately 16.7%. And that is questions number 13 and 14.